Hi guys, so I'm back here. Ooh. And I am, how far along am I? I am 8 months pregnant. 8 months, about to pop. I don't know if I should show you, pretty much about to pop. Poppity pop. Having a little boy. It's about to be lit. Ooh. And I'm terrified. So, no, I'm not terrified. It's just nervous. Like a person has to come out of me. So that's interesting, you know. But we're all pretty excited about welcoming a new member to our family. So today what we're going to talk about is toxic people, toxic relationships, and how to like move on from them, you know. A lot of the things that I say and I talk about is from things that are happening or have happened to me, or you know, like just things that like I've experienced in life. So I share those things because I feel like it can help other people. You need to say your story, say your truth, so people will understand where you come from. They can learn, you know, from your mistakes. Everybody learns from other people's mistakes, or people just have to experience them for themselves. But I say my little truth, and if it helps you, then I'm super happy. That is what this is for. And so let's continue. So my name is Yvonne, Eve, whatever you want to call it. I am 23 years old. I don't even know I'm talking about all that stuff. Let's talk about toxic people, okay? I don't know if I should talk about toxic people. You can be toxic. Your family can be toxic. Your friends can be toxic. Your parents can be toxic. And your environment. Your thinking and your perspective. So that's a lot of toxic different things, I know. Thing is your relationship. Who you are with. Who you're giving your body to, giving your mind to, you know, giving your heart to, and do they deserve it? Or are you just wasting your time? Maybe you need to be alone. When I first started school, I was in a relationship, and I was making like, you know, a good amount of money. I was in a nice office, and I just was not happy with that job. Like, I liked it at first. I liked everything about it. It was beautiful views, you know, great pay, all this good stuff. But you need to learn what you like. You need to learn what kind of person you are. And I don't think I'm like the corporate office, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I need to smile in people's faces all the time. I want to smile at people because I feel good in that environment. I feel happy in that environment. I felt like I needed to be somebody else and not myself. And on top of that, I would always find myself looking at, you know, holistic healing and meditation, you know, Reiki, just different things like that. That was so interesting to me. So I prayed about it a lot, and I found a school, a holistic school. I decided to drop everything and go with the holistic school. I was making a certain amount, this, that, and the third, and I dropped it. Does that sound silly? That sounds silly, I guess so. But that environment was not for me. And I went to the school knowing in back of the head that this job was not really for me. But I know that I wanted to go back to school and learn something meaningful to me. So I went to the school, and they're like, oh, I'm so glad you came today because we start, you know, classes tomorrow. I'm like, you start classes tomorrow? Yeah, we start. Okay, sign me up. I'm going. Signed up. They got my everything. It was just like, you know, the right thing, the right time. Everything was just, you know, processed through. Bam, you're in the school. Great. I put in my 2 weeks. That same day, I went to school. I went back to work, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with this, guys. Like, I'm done. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was just over it, and I finally felt like I found a place that was going where I wanted to go, basically, or would lead me in the right direction. I for my 2 weeks, I just quit. I think I just quit. I was just over it, and I told them that I was quitting, and I needed to just leave from there. But I know I had my other checks coming in, so I wasn't really worried. I know that was like a bit of a silly move, but you know when you're over something and it's just, I was over it. So anyway, here comes the toxic person part, right? I knew the relationship was just getting so toxic was we would fight a lot, and the person wasn't really for my dreams. They didn't understand what I wanted to do with myself. And I was still understanding what I wanted to do with myself. But they didn't understand the fact that if I was willing to quit a job and jump into school, and I really wanted to go back to school, and you knew that, then support me in that. You know what I'm saying? I still had a check coming in. We would still be okay, you know, until I found like a smaller job, which I did. Like a few weeks later, not even a month later, I found like a job at Whole Foods, and I was working. It wasn't the same amount, but could still contribute how I was contributing. Maybe not as much, but I was paying my portion of the rent, my whatever I needed to pay off. But that person still didn't support me. You know, is that okay? Do you want to be with somebody that doesn't support you with what you're trying to accomplish in life? It was just unfair. It was just unfair to that person. It was unfair to me to continue that relationship, and it wasn't moving me forward to be there. It wasn't moving me forward to continue. And that's what toxic relationships, toxic anything is. If it's stopping you from moving forward in life, that is toxic. If it's hindering you to become your best self, then that person, that thing is toxic. So before I knew it, I was just out of there. I left. I moved back with my mom. I was just out. But I was continuing school. And now I'm almost done. No, I am done with school. Almost done. I have to graduate, that's why. But graduation is this month. And I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I needed to move from that. Because if I stayed in that and that person still wasn't supporting me and supporting my dreams and telling me I needed to go back to that job, and why would I do that? Why would I lose that job when it was so good? And it was just like, okay, money is one thing. Yes, money is one thing. Yes, you need money, and it's amazing. And, you know, I don't want to have a bad vibe with money, but I want money to come to me in a way that I am being my best self. I am being successful off of how well I am doing something, not just from, I don't know, that just wasn't what I wanted to do. And this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to make money this way because it made me happy. That's what, you know, that's the whole goal. You want to make money, but you want to be happy making your money, don't you? Amen, preach. Okay, so that relationship was a no-no. Somebody not supporting your dreams, that's a no-no. You gotta go. And I did. The second thing is toxic parents. I have 2 parents, but I don't talk to one of them. And that's only because they didn't want to be a part of my life. And I can't force somebody to be a part of my life. If you don't want to, then you don't. I love my mother. I appreciate her for all she does. She helps me any way that she can, any way that she could, or, you know, anyway, she tries her best. But yes, I have a toxic parent. She is amazing. My mom likes to instill a lot of fear into people. She likes to instill fear into me. Let's say something with that. Okay, so I'm in a shelter now because I didn't want to be in that environment. That environment was too toxic for my you know, my baby being, you know, growing inside of me. I could not be in that. I would rather be in a shelter. I'm sorry, I can't. And I know that's not okay to say and stuff like that, but if you need to leave because something is so toxic, you need to leave. Your environment can be very toxic for you. How am I supposed to learn? with such a toxic environment, or you know, have less stress when you're pregnant. That's what you need to have. No stress, you know, chilling. But no, I had enough on my plate. I was trying to work, I was trying to go to school, and I did, and I completed that, but I needed to have a proper environment for myself. The shelter is not the best place. No, it is not the best place. But it is a place that isn't toxic, because it's just you and, you know, it was just me and my husband and, you know, our baby that's in my belly right now, my womb right now. They allowed us to stay in the shelter. They said that we were fit as homeless because, you know, my mom kept kicking me out. I didn't belong there. So they said, okay, well, you can stay in the shelter. So staying in the shelter, and I would still make my way to my mom's house because, you know, she's my mom and I love her no matter what. You know, I love my mom. We would say small things like, I hope you don't slip, you know, while you're pregnant, or people say comments and stuff like that, and they may not think anything of it, that they, you know, but you understand, like, why is it necessary to say those things while I'm pregnant? Why do you need to say those things? And I know you deal with something, I know you go through a lot with your husband, but that doesn't mean you need to take that, you know, frustration out on me. So when she does take that frustration out, and even though she doesn't think she does, but it's like a certain vibe with certain things that you say that you just shouldn't be saying. And then I come home with that energy, and I have to face my husband, and I have to talk to my husband, and he feels that negativity, because every week would be something. Like, as soon as I came from the house and I came back home, it would be a problem between me and him. She would criticize our relationship, talk about our relationship, but I wouldn't tell her anything, you know, about us. I would try not to tell her anything. It's between me and my husband, and that's all. You know what I'm saying? And when it's an argument, it's something that is, I don't want to hear your side, because I don't care to hear your side. I only want you to hear what I have to say, and the negative things that I need to bring up, the past, now, the future. I need to say all these things and say it all to you, because I'm hurt. So when somebody is hurt and they try to hurt you, that is a toxic person. She's a parent, so yeah, she's a toxic parent. She tries any way to hurt you because she is being hurt. And yes, there's so much that you need to forgive them for, and you try to understand them, but there's so much that you can take from that person. You understand? There's so much that you can take from that person until it destroys you. And all I wanted to do was just support my mother and be there for her, and, you know, but I'm thinking, like, yeah, I just got kicked out, I'm in a shelter, and I'm still trying to be here for you. There's something wrong with that. And I forgive her and all this stuff, that I just needed to be away from that. Their relationship was not my problem. You know, what they did or what they argue about and, you know, forgive each other and all this stuff, that's not my problem. But I would be dragged into their problems every time I went over there, which wasn't fair. It came to the point where I felt like I was going to lose my husband, because we would argue all the time just off of when I came home. And that's not fair to him. He's working his butt off, trying to support us and, you know, being loving and always having a good attitude and all these things, and I'm coming home with all that negativity. You come from your house, come from that person's house or hang out with them, whoever it is, and you come home and you feel like you need to have an attitude with somebody else, or there's anger in you that you didn't know, or whatever, you have a problem now. It came to the point where I needed to stop visiting my mother every week. I had to keep my distance because I'm understanding there's a baby in me. I can't put that stress on me. And even though she knows that too, it didn't matter to her. She still would release whatever she had in her at that time to me, and I couldn't anymore. I need my husband. I need a healthy baby. I need to think of myself more than anyone, you know, than anyone else. Thinking about my immediate family right now, my family that's growing right now. I can't be focused on that. So that's one thing. If you hang out with someone that you know, you love them and all this stuff, and they're great and everything, And as soon as you come home or from hanging out with them, there's an issue with your family, you just feel that anger in you for some reason, that person is toxic. And that solution is to pull yourself away. Give yourself the distance. My mom calls me now, and it's on a different level. Like, she knows not to call me with drama, because I don't want to hear it. Point blank. You don't want to hear that. And when they want to talk about something else, somebody else, you just like, okay, well, I have to go now. I'm sorry. Could we talk about something that's like, you know, that can lift us up? Let's talk about how you're doing, how you're feeling better, how, you know, your relationship is changing, or are things getting any better in your life, and you just want to focus on the negative stuff. So that's whack. Another toxic thing, you can be toxic. You can be a toxic person. I had to realize that I was toxic in my relationships. My relationship right now has taught me the most. This is not just a relationship. This is a future marriage. This is a family. This is different. It's not just boyfriend and girlfriend. We want to do more. We just want to get out the shelter right now. We're having our first child together. You know, this is, to me, a lot more serious than any other relationship. And I think that's because my husband has a different way, a different perspective in life. He looks for the best in people. His attitude is on positivity. His attitude, you know, not everybody can be positive all the time, but somebody can have a good attitude all the time, can have a good perspective in life. And that is also depending on how you were raised and who raised you, and, you know, what you tend to focus on. If you tend to focus on something that's positive, that's good, that you're going to be, you know, the best, then that's what you focus on. And I think that's what he does every day. And I think that takes a lot. For me, I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to control my temper. I'm still learning how to have a positive perspective in life. And I think he knows that. He sees that in me. And I think that's why he loves me so much, because he knows it's very difficult to find people that just want to focus and grow together. People just want to focus on the negative stuff around them, and they're just like, there's just so much things that, you know, that we can be upset about, but we're not. We're trying to look at, you know, what kind of place can we live in? How do we want this to be done? How do we want to raise our baby? How do we want to do this and that? You know what I'm saying? It's wonderful to have somebody that that really appreciates you and wants to see you grow as well. So so yes, as yourself, you can be toxic. You can be, if you always want to focus on negativity, if you're always trying to be in the latest gossip, if you always you know, bringing somebody down in some way, even if you might not think so. Like, jokes are funny, whatever, but if you're joking at another person's expense, you know, there's something wrong with that. When you start to think that you can be something and write down, and you choose your mind, you choose to think about things in a better way, or forgive somebody, or trying to love somebody and give love and be very genuine, that's how you know that you're trying not to be a toxic person anymore. That's how you know you want to be you know, you're trying to be different. And yeah, so a lot of yourself being toxic is your perspective on things. And a lot of people's not going to want to be around that. People that are toxic as well, or negative, they're going to want to be around you because they see that. They're like, okay, well, I can complain with her. I can bring drama with her. She'll go ahead and she'll go along with it. People that know that you're not about that, they leave you alone. She's not about that drama. She thinks she's too good. She's not about that stuff. She's not about... Girl, I don't have time for that. That's what it is. I want to be the best person for my son, the best person for my husband, the best person for myself. What do you think is going to last in the long run? Like, what do you really think is going to last in the long run? If you're so focused on what's going wrong, how can you focus on the solution? How can you focus on what's going right? How can you put yourself in the proper vibration to move forward, to have gratitude? You know, how can the universe move you if you're just stuck in one set? If you move yourself and bring yourself up to a point where the universe can see you, it's like, oh, I can see her, I see her shining. Universe wants to shift you into that higher vibration. If you're stuck and you're staying this way, you're just going, fuck that bitch, oh, I don't want all that drama, nah, 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 nah. Universe is gonna shift you or just keep you right there, keep you down. Where do you want to go? This has been going a lot longer than I thought, so I'm just gonna conclude this right now. So thanks everybody, peace out.